This is Aubrey Warner, NSH's Director for Meetings and Education. Travel restrictions around the coronavirus led NSH to offer our annual convention virtually this year. I was heartbroken to not see our attendees in person, but really proud of the great education histology leaders and NSH members produced, including one of my favorite features of our convention, our scientific poster gallery. Please enjoy this year's installment of Poster Podcast featuring conversations with our 2020 poster presenters discussing their research. Thanks for listening.
Hi, this is Connie. I'm with the NSH, and I am sitting with Mandy Blankenship and Jean Lanzanas talking about their poster, A Modified Procedure for the Preparation of Rodent Heart Sections using HistoGel Infusion. Mandy and Jean prepared this poster for the 46th annual NSH Symposium Convention, and we are really excited to be talking with them a little bit more about it. So welcome, Jean and Mandy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So my first question for you is, I'm going to give you the tough one right out of the gate. Why did you guys pick this topic? Why was it worth your time as researchers? And then why is it important for people to know the information?
Well, because number one, we have been doing the studies in-house. And then one of the reasons why we created this poster is because it increases the visualization of all four valves of the heart, especially on rodents.
And it has a 96% success rate as well. So it has good results.
Now, how long have you all been working on the research itself for the HistoGel?
We have been doing like a series of maybe 4 studies, and the success rate is really good. And that's why the company advised us to do this poster, because it's kind of helpful for the histology.
Mm-hmm. To bring awareness.
Yes.
The results on this research with the heart valve and how it shows within it, is it different than, how is it unique? Is it different than other methods that people could use? And is it just how much it shows with it, or are there other variables that make this process valuable?
It's much better, Connie, because this one, we use the HistoGel. Other studies, we don't use HistoGel on the hearts. We just trim it and process it. This one, it takes a long time to get it to process. It has to come to our facility. We have to inject the HistoGel,
okay,
certain amount, and then it has to be fixed in a certain number of hours. So,
did you find when you were fixing it, you said it has to be fixed in a certain number of hours. How did you find out what was optimal as far as that timing? Just a lot of trial and error?
Not really. We did not do a lot of trial and error. We were told that this is a study that we have to perform, and then we did it, and then it was successful. That's why we created this poster, because a lot of the pathologists are so happy.
That's obviously that's always really nice, because sometimes you feel like you hear it the other way. How long do you guys fix it?
48 hours in formalin. Before that, we do 48 hours in formalin, and then we process it.
Now, when you guys were putting not just the poster, well, I guess both the poster or conducting the study, did you encounter anything surprising?
Well, some clients we have, they use different clamps for the heart. You know, some uses thread, some uses clamps, and we found it that these two are the most usable thing that we can use for hearts, to hold it in order for the HistoGel not to leak.
So when you say you found that there were 2 specific clamps, what were those 2?
This clamp is called Approximator 20 gauge pressure vascular clamps. We get it from World Precision Instruments. And then the other one, you can just get a thick, vibrant colored cotton thread.
And you said that those clamps provided the HistoGel to not leak out quite as much?
Yes.
Okay. When you guys were actually putting the poster together itself, did you find any unique challenges from that?
No.
It was very easy to put together. Just during the study, we did have some difficulties capturing the pulmonary and the mitral valves. Those were the most difficult, but everything else was smooth sailing.
Smooth sailing, yeah.
Now, when you say, you mean like images of the pulmonary and the valve, or do you mean
at time of slide review?
Mm-hmm.
At time of slide review, yes.
Yeah, I mean, the photos are incredibly clear. And, again, for somebody who's not a professional histologist, it's easy enough for me to follow and understand what you guys were doing. Is there anything that when somebody comes up to the poster, what's the first thing you want them to notice?
HistoGel, pictures on the poster, very informative. And if time is limited, you can just look at the pictures for the process.
And again, you laid that out really nicely, because I agree. I think when I look at this, the first thing my eye is immediately drawn to how you laid those photos out. And it is a process, and it's very clear to what are the things you want people to remember walking away from the poster. And you have 3 to 5 words.
Let's see. Rodent heart valves.
It's a good one.
That's the only thing that we thought that we can.
How about rodent heart valve HistoGel?
Ooh,
Perfect.
Let's add that in there. All right. So if you guys were going to do a follow-up on this topic, what would you do?
I think we would like to take a look at larger animals to see if it has the same success rate, maybe like guinea pigs or rabbits.
Rabbits or monkeys, but I would imagine that we're going to need a lot of HistoGel.
Oh, yes.
But, because it's large heart, and this one is just rats, so.
Well, I think that would be a great project. Is there anything is that question one of those that's like, well, it'd be nice to do, but we probably won't? Or do you think that's actually in the down the pipeline?
Okay, it could happen. It could be. It could be done, but we just need an approval or whatever studies we are going to deal with.
All right. So we have a lot of people every year, that contact NSH about, I'm interested in putting a poster together. But they've never done it before. They don't necessarily work in an environment where people are encouraging them to do it. So if somebody was to approach either one of you and ask you for your tips on putting a poster together, what would be some advice you would give them?
Number one, I would suggest to prepare well in advance.
Oh, yeah. It took a lot of time to get all of this together. Yeah. Also take really good and usable pictures, because that's the primary thing people look at whenever they see our posters, because you have a very clear path of the process that you could just look at and know exactly what to do.
Yes, and then I would suggest to double check or proofread before submitting the final poster. We had a typo with ours.
Is there anything else you'd like to share about the poster that I haven't asked you, or you want to make sure people listening out there might be able to take away?
I think that's it.
Okay, well, that's what I like. Listen, just like your poster, it's clear and to the point. So I like it. Well, I want to thank you both so much for taking the time to talk about the work that you've done, your research, and of course for contributing this year. And I hope that we will see you and your work again for 2021. Maybe in person in Omaha, I hope.
I hope so.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the 2020 Poster Podcast. Don't forget to check out NSH's other podcast series, including Histo Help and Women in Histology.